into Tulsa for our last big rodeo. 10 years on the circuit, now a few hard rides to go. That bull could win the money if I could last the last event. Well, I'd drawn 2,000 pounds of hell. His name was Heaven Sent. We laid out in our trailer beds in the dead of the night and thought about tomorrow. I had one more bull to fight. 8 seconds to that buzzer, we both knew what that meant. We could buy a ranch in Texas and we'd name it Heaven Sent. You've been with me through it all. You've seen me ride, you've watched me fall. The highs and lows of the rodeos, of how our time was spent. Now there's one more round to go, one more bull and one last show. If I could just hang on to Heaven Sent. A month before in old Cheyenne, that raging bull came down. He busted up some cowboys and he killed old Joe, our clown. There's black marks by his name. Lord, I couldn't be content till I showed that devil bull who's boss and rode old Heaven Sent. They called my name, I said a prayer, God help me one last time. I climbed out on that killer bull, living on my mind. I swore I'd ride that ton of hell, no matter where he went. And I heard the sound. Well, I'd rode old Heaven Sent. You've been with me through it all. You've seen me ride, you've seen me fall. The highs and lows of the rodeos, of how our time was spent. Now there's no more rounds to go, no bad bulls and no more throws. Thank God that I hung on to Heaven Sent. We pulled into Tulsa for our last big rodeo. 10 years on the circuit, now one more round to go.